Good morning, guys. It's just before 6 o'clock. So I got up at 4 o'clock and I was meditating, and I had this burst of clarity of thoughts coming into my mind. And I couldn't really, it was distracting my meditation because I thought I should start writing these because otherwise I'll forget. But then I thought the moment I start doing that, the thoughts will disappear and more thoughts won't flow in. So when your mind is still and when you're concentrating on the object of meditation, there are no other thoughts coming, but then the thoughts that arise to kind of disturb your meditation have so much of clarity in them. These thoughts have so much of clarity in them, which is amazing. And things that you don't usually think or don't have access to, because always your mind is preoccupied with I had to do that, or I did that, or I had to meet somebody. Or this is one of the reasons that solitude also helps a lot, because when you have solitude and when you're alone, you don't chat to anybody, you don't have the chattering of the mind reduces, and then you have more clarity into seeing the reality of things, seeing the reality of the universe. But when you're chatting to somebody or always engaged with conversations, your mind don't have an opportunity to start seeking what's happening in reality inside. Now I thought I'll just make a little vlog with these thoughts. So the sun is kind of rising. Yeah, so that's the city on that side and the sun rising. So they said the sunrise is at 6 o'clock, and I thought, yes, I should go for that. But I'll record these little thoughts I have. So I'm walking in this beautiful place which is called the Pines. It's a dog beach where people come with their dogs, but the tide goes backwards and all this is exposed. So I like coming here. When I came here with my wife about 2 days ago, the water was up to the dry area. So yeah, so coming back to the thoughts I had. Now, as a kid, I had a lot of friends. I still do have a lot of friends. All my old friends are still my friends, and even though I don't contact them often, and some of them I haven't contacted for ages, it doesn't mean that I don't care. I care more than I cared before. They are in my mind when I meditate, and when I give the meditation of loving kindness at the end of my meditation, I think of them, and so I'm actually with them more than I have been before. But associating wise, and that has, like, I don't call them that often. I have a few spiritual friends, or few friends from my meditation that I keep contact with. Now when I was growing up, I wanted friends to always be there, because I didn't find a world without my friends. It was as if it was incomplete. Every day I had to go with them and be with them, and that was my life. And still it is the life to most of my old friends, I feel, some of them. Now, there is nothing wrong in that, and I'm not saying there's nothing right in that, there's nothing wrong in that. And also there is nothing right or wrong in what I'm doing now, because I am kind of I have put more energy into my internal work for realizing the truths of the universe, for realizing basically coming out of my own suffering, the teachings of the Buddha. I'm trying to put them into practice as much as I can, because I have realized that everything is a suffering in this world. Things that appear to be so enjoyable are actually suffering as well. It's hard to describe it in one sentence or one blog or whatever. But if you go to my blog, which I have a link in my YouTube channel, I have written some chapters in depth. So if you go to blog 1 and 2, it will say about my heart attack experience and how I changed my life and the realizations that came to me, and how what was important to me became unimportant, and what was unimportant to me became important. So basically finding the refuge only in the truth that I discover inside. Seeking the refuge in only my own actions, and realizing that everything is cause and effect. Understanding the teachings of the Buddha at least a little bit, and through my own practice of Vipassana meditation, which changed everything to me, I started understanding that everything is, you create everything. You're responsible for everything. Nobody else is to blame for anything that is really unpleasant, or that something really unpleasant comes your way. You're to blame for that, because you have created something that led to that. It's hard to explain. I wish I can explain, but when you meditate, things become more clear. So now I've been going here and there, just talking, not focusing, but I just want to convey a few things, and whatever come to my mind, I'm just putting it here. So I was talking about friends and spending time with them. So as I grew more and more deeper in my meditation practice, and then I became a monk later on, and I disrobed, and everything, all these things gave me more clarity than I had about how this entire universe works and what my goals are. My goals are to develop in my spirituality and to come out of this deep bog that I have drowned myself in by having so much of greed or craving, and having so much of delusion, ignorance, hatred, aversion, things like that. Now, these are the words of my teacher, words of the Buddha, as well as words of my teacher Goenkaji. But I'm just using the same words to explain. So, coming back to my own experience, now I find the life of solitude of much more value. I couldn't live a day without my friends when I was growing up, but now solitude is really valuable for me, and it's very precious, because I find when you have solitude, you can tap into the next level. Your mind is clear. You can see what you didn't see before. Whereas always you're chattering, or you're engaged with this one and that one, your mind doesn't have the time to access, or the opportunity to access what it can access about this universe and about yourself, or what you call yourself, really. The other thing that came to my mind was that even to go for a meditation course, the beautiful thing about Vipassana is you're asked to drop all your concepts. You're asked to drop all the knowledge, whatever you have about your meditation, and start from zero with the instructions of the teacher, that is given every day step by step, which is so wonderful. And that is to basically to see the reality as it is, and you're focusing exactly on what you experience, not what you think, not what you read in a book, not what you uh, listen in a discourse or a Dhamma talk or a TED talk or a lecture or YouTube or whatever. You drop all that and you only give importance to your own experience, and then things become clearer and clearer. Now this cannot be conveyed. You need to meditate to understand what you will understand which cannot be explained in words. So that is the beauty of Vipassana meditation in the tradition of my teacher S.N. Goenka. So likewise, when I was meditating this morning, this other thought was that you need to drop everything and have a unbiased mind to perceive the reality. So solitude helps for that. So the lifestyle that I'm planning to lead, developing my station wagon into a camper, a little simple camper, a very simple camper, and trying to live that life between a monk and householder, because I can meditate in my car. It's like a small cave. I don't have many possessions. I'm just traveling. I'm going to meditation centers and monasteries, and I'm serving and sitting and living this simple life, minimalistic simple life, not going to extremes. And many people are afraid of solitude, because the moment they don't have many friends, the moment they are not surrounded by so many people, and they are not given that feeding that they are seeking, there is a lot of fear and tension that arises. You're alone suddenly. But I mean, we are born alone and we die alone. We didn't bring anybody with us when we came to this world. Even if you're a twin, you're not the same. I mean, you're different. So, and you can't control your twin, and your twin can't control you. So you came alone to this world. Hard for me to explain. I'm sorry if my words aren't clear. And we all know that when we die, we don't take anybody with us. When the people that we knew, when our grandmothers died, when our aunties died, when somebody very near and dear to you died, or someone totally unknown to you died. Now, I have also seen patients dying in hospital. They couldn't take anybody with them. Everybody who were trying to support them were around the bedside, holding their hand or talking or crying or whatever, but they couldn't go with them. So the person who died went, and everybody else was there remained. They will go when they have their own time. So we come alone, we go alone. But in this journey, we try to, in this transitory period of a very short few years in this planet, in this life, we try to be secure with having so many friends, secure by having so many possessions, secure by having much money in the bank account, secure by having a property in a good location, secure by having insurance policies and all these things. But in reality, none of these things can really help you. People collect money to have a good life when they retire, but sometimes before they retire they die, or they develop some disease, or the dreams they cannot live. I mean, I worked as a doctor for more than 20 years. 70 to 80 hours I worked most of the period, and I didn't have a life. Of course, I helped people, but then I decided to change my lifestyle. Then, I want to become a monk. I became a monk. And so, like, there is much more to do in life. So, I suppose what I'm trying to say in this particular point is that you come alone and you go alone. So, solitude is a good thing, because you're kind of back to your normal self. Because you came alone, that was your normal self. You're going alone, that is going to be the normal self. And this abnormal self of having 1,000 people around you is not there. I mean, you're alone. And so when you meditate, you realize that you are responsible for everything that you create. Your thoughts, that creates other things, your actions. Yeah, so these were some spiritual thoughts I thought I'll just discuss with you guys. Alright, take care, my friends. May you truly be happy and may you be peaceful.